We've got Esther, Vikram, Christian, and Zahidi. So we have a multicultural background, ranging from the UK to Venezuela to India and to Germany and to Ireland. So we're just going to give you a brief cultural due diligence on why Aldi would acquire Big Bazaar. The first question I'll ask you is just show of hands, how many of you heard of Aldi before? Okay, and how many of you heard of Big Bazaar? Okay, 2 or 3. So I just want to give you a quick background of the companies, give you a kind of a platform for going forward. Aldi is a massive international company. They've over 9,500 stores worldwide. They're a discount store, so that's their primary objective, is to provide low prices across the globe. Another big thing about them is they bring in their own products. So that's going to be a big thing going forward culturally. They have 95% of their own products in the shop. So they're not really a big international brand to bring in other products like Coca-Cola, etc. like that. They target lower and middle classes of Western society, and their cost-effective strategies are tiny staff in every store, not the physical sign, just in low numbers, and cheap warehouses and land situated in the outskirts of cities or small towns. Big Bazaar are an Indian company, so culturally you would think that there's a big difference there. It's coming from 2 different continents as well. So, but actually when we look further down the line, there's actually a lot of similarities. So they're a hypermarket chain, 210 stores in 80 Indian cities, spread geographically over the whole country. So they're not just in one region, they're over the whole country. Selling a range of about 1,500 products. Revenue of about 2 billion. Not on the slide there, Aldi's revenue is about 60 billion. So again, there's a huge difference there. And again, they target middle and higher classes of Indian society. So we're going to look at 3 different models: the PES model, the Hofstede model, and the 7S model. So I'm going to hand you over to some of my colleagues now. Esther's going to go through the PES model first of all.
Right, through PES model, we've done the PES model on India, first of all, on the Indian situation. Our advice, before giving advice to Aldi, we thought we might want to look at some of the issues that might arise, may or may not be relevant to Aldi. There are strict government regulations on foreign direct investments in India. I think my colleague Vikram knows a little bit more about that because he's Indian. And there may be certain international trade agreements which Aldi needs to be aware of. Now, concerning corruption, we don't know exactly how that might influence on the business, on Aldi acquiring Big Bazaar, but Aldi needs to be aware that sometimes under the table payments may be asked for, so they need to think in advance what kind of position they need to take in before going into this action. Now, local political parties may impose upon the company to employ local people. You must know that in India, labor is very, very cheap, seen from a European standard. So probably the average salary is about 80 euros per month. That means that a lot of people are, for example, in the Big Bazaar, employs a lot of people on different areas within one store. So it's quite the contrary of in an Aldi store. You have probably 10 people only, and in the Bazaar it would be probably 3 times more. So, right, I'm going to hand over to Vikram for the next 2 points, economic and social.
So before I start, I just want to clarify, we just give down the money. It's consulting group, we do not fight it over. All right. On the economic conditions, The currency fluctuations are very common in India, and Indian economy is growing by fastest rate by around 7 to 8%, and it is a fairly untapped market, the supermarket region. If the FDI approval, which is the foreign direct investment approval, which the government would give, we are expecting it to happen sometime this year. If that goes through, it's a huge market. It's a more than 500 billion market in India. So that is why Aldi should be looking into this. Aldi should be aware that there are some financial levy for transferring to countries outside India. So if you earn a profit in India and you transfer it back to your own country, in Germany, there would be some form of taxation on that profit. There are high interest rates for borrowing as well as savings in India. This is because Indian government wants to contain the high inflation rate that is currently prevalent. That's next. So I'll go on to social. Some of the facts in the social arena that Aldi needs to be aware of is uneven income distribution. This is a very common place in India. Because of the various power distribution, we rank very high on PDI. It is fairly accepted that people at the higher rank will earn considerably higher than us. So, and the literacy of the workforce. India is a developing country, we have a literacy rate of not more than 30-40%, which will increase in time, but that is the current fact. It is rare in India for people to be made redundant. Yes. So if Aldi purchases a big Bazaar and decides that it can make some people redundant quite easily, I think that needs to be considered again because there are some political forces, local political forces, which might stop them from making people redundant. Finally, in India, people avoid confrontations. They are indirect, and it's very difficult for them to say no. Now, a recent example of that would be one of the clients, British clients, asked one of the colleagues that, will you be doing this job? Now, as the job was very difficult, obviously the client expected that he would be getting a pushback, but in return what he got was, yes, I'll be doing the job. And he got a bit confused. So it's very difficult for Indians to say no. That's for the technological part.
For the technological part of the business model, you must know that India is now the world back office. A lot of young men and women specialize in everything that concerns technology, but also administrative. The administrative side of technology. They retain a lot of documents and data concerning people and employees in different companies all over the world. So this might actually be an advantage to Aldi because, as you know, when we go shopping now, there's a new way of doing your shopping, like self-service, self-scanning and everything. So I think that India is quite in advance, compared to other countries. This really is a plus for Aldi, so I think the advanced know-how may really be very interesting for this venture.
Okay, in addition to the price model, we use also to analyze the difference and similarities between India and Germany in the workplace value. So after looking at these differences, we came with some similarities and the difference. So we noticed that as a similarity, both countries live to work. They spend, for example, in India, no matter the religion, they work 7 hours, 65 days a year. So, and there is no problem to work on 2 8 hours. both countries are high hierarchical, and they both want to do it well, so they try to do the best of the job. So there's also we noticed that both like changes in the case that in India they are very open to receive new products. In this case, they are more than happy to receive products from Aldi and display in their shop. Both countries are long-term oriented. As a difference, we noticed that in India the management are very high dependent, whereas in Germany is the low dependencies in the managerial area. As a society, India is more collective, whereas in Germany is more individualistic. From this, we came with some tools and a questionnaire, which my colleague is going to present here.
I'll do the first 5 and then let Esther do the second 5. To be aware